Constantine Sergeyevich, a man seasoned by time, resided in the outskirts of a humble village nestled amongst rolling hills. His life. If you like the content, subscribe and leave a like. Your opinion means a lot, so leave a comment for the next content. Life, though simple, had been rich with the love of his wife, Abdokyo. They had met in their youth, their paths intertwining like the ancient oaks that dotted the landscape. Their love story was one whispered amongst the villagers, a testament to the enduring power of companionship. Constantine and Abdokyo's home was filled with laughter and warmth. They shared a deep connection, their hearts beating in unison like the rhythmic chirping of crickets on a summer night. Their days were spent tending to their small plot of land, their evenings filled with shared stories and the comforting silence of togetherness. They had built a life on a foundation of love, a love that had weathered the storms of time. Though their lives were untouched by the laughter of children, Constantine and Abdokyo harbored no regrets. They found solace in each other's company, their love a sanctuary from the world's troubles. Their bond was unbreakable, their love a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. They were content in their little world, their hearts overflowing with gratitude for the life they shared. One crisp autumn morning, Abdokyo awoke with a persistent cough that refused to be silenced. At first, Constantine dismissed it as a passing ailment, a mere inconvenience in the grand tapestry of their lives. But as days turned into weeks, a gnawing fear began to consume him. Abdokyo, once a beacon of vitality, grew frail and weak. Her once vibrant eyes, now clouded with pain, reflected a battle she was destined to fight alone. The village doctor, a kind but weary man, confirmed their worst fears. Abdokyo was in the clutches of a relentless illness, one that even his most potent remedies could not cure. The news struck Constantine like a bolt of lightning, leaving him reeling in a world suddenly devoid of color and warmth. His heart, once overflowing with love, now ached with a pain so profound it threatened to consume him whole. As the days grew shorter and the leaves turned golden brown, so too did Abdokyo's health deteriorate. Constantine, his heart heavy with dread, refused to leave her side. He tended to her every need, his love for her burning brighter than ever in the face of impending loss. He whispered words of comfort and hope, clinging to the belief that somehow love could conquer even the cruelest of fates. But fate, it seemed, had other plans. On a night shrouded in an eerie silence, as the first snowflakes of winter began to fall, Abdokyo took her final breath. Constantine held her close, his tears mingling with the soft glow of the oil lamp as his world crumbled around him. He was alone, adrift in a sea of grief, his heart shattered into a million pieces. The days following Abdokyo's passing were a blur of sorrow and despair. Constantine moved through life like a ghost, the vibrant colors of his world now muted shades of gray. His home, once filled with Abdokyo's laughter and warmth, now echoed with an unbearable silence. He found solace only in his daily visits to her grave, a simple headstone marking her final resting place. The cemetery, perched atop a windswept hill overlooking the village, had always been a place of peace and contemplation for Constantine. It was here, amidst the weathered headstones and rustling leaves, that he felt closest to Abdokyo. He would spend hours talking to her grave, sharing his thoughts, his fears, and the crushing weight of his loneliness. One particularly cold afternoon, as Constantine knelt beside Abdokyo's grave, lost in his grief, he heard a faint sound that sent shivers down his spine. It was a soft, almost imperceptible squeaking, like the whimper of a small animal. At first, he dismissed it as a figment of his imagination, his mind playing tricks on him in his sorrow. But the squeaking persisted, growing louder with each passing moment. Curiosity, tinged with a flicker of unease, compelled Constantine to investigate. He stood up slowly, his gaze scanning the surrounding gravestones, searching for the source of the unsettling sound. The squeaking seemed to be emanating from a freshly dug grave a few feet away. It belonged to Klavdia, an elderly woman from the village who had lived a solitary life and passed away with no known relatives. Constantine had attended her funeral out of respect, but he had known little about the woman who now lay beneath the cold earth. Driven by an unknown force, Constantine cautiously approached Klavdia's grave. The squeaking grew louder with each step, confirming its origin. He knelt down, his heart pounding in his chest, and brushed away the loose soil covering the grave with trembling hands. As he peeled back the earth, a sight that defied all reason and logic met his astonished gaze. There, nestled amongst the white linen and withered flowers, lay two tiny infants, their faces flushed and their cries muffled by the earth that had so nearly become their tomb. They were swaddled in worn blankets, their tiny bodies trembling with cold and hunger. A small, leather-bound pouch lay beside them, its contents a mystery waiting to be unveiled. Constantine stared at the babies, his mind struggling to comprehend the impossible scene before him. Who would bury two innocent infants alive? And why? Were they related to Klavdia in some way? A wave of nausea washed over him as the horrifying truth dawned on him. This was no act of random cruelty, but a deliberate and calculated act of desperation.